Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome, 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 welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome, 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 welcome back.
Welcome to Tea with Honey. It's your girl Honey Da Vinci, and I'm back with another video. So today I'll be doing another segment of the review, and I will be covering Black & Crew Season 7, Episode 4 and 5, you guys. So I haven't been covering this season of Black & Crew because it's been kind of stale. And you know, I'm going to stop beating myself up about not doing every single video for every single episode because I'm not inspired to talk about something that I'm just not inspired to talk about. You know what I mean? Like, it has to be something going on interesting for me to give my genuine commentary. If it's nothing going on, I'm not going to do videos on every single episode if, like, the episode is boring, you know? Maybe if it's a follow-up from a previous episode that was good, then we can kick it off from there. But I'm just going to start from here. And most likely I'm going to do the next episode too because it looks like it's going to be juicy. But anyways, so, ooh, what happened? That's, like, what happened? Like, what is going on? With these last two episodes, we saw that Kitty and Drea have been trying to step up with Second City Inc. since the beginning. You know, they've been trying to step up. They've been trying to get Charmaine to see that she needs help. They've been trying to be an asset to the business, and Charmaine has been stopping them at all accounts. Charmaine is going through something right now because her father has cancer, and she is going through the struggles mentally of just losing her mother and now possibly losing her father. And so she's an emotional wreck. But instead of going to therapy and finding a way to express that, she's lashing out. She's lashing out. And she's in a state where this time around, because of the situation with Jess and Kitty, when she hired Kitty, she's like, no, I'm the boss. And now, I don't know if any of you have ever been an employee to, like, a small business. But whenever the person has the mentality of, I'm the boss, it's always some shit with that. Now, of course, we understand that you're the boss. But anytime you have to say you're the boss, 9 times out of 10, you're a terrible leader. This whole time, Charmaine has been refusing to allow Kitty to just be the manager. And so Kitty and Drea have been discussing how this is supposed to be a Black empowerment for women, a shop that's supposed to be full of Black excellence and women empowerment and things of that nature. But we're basically being a letdown because we're not stepping up. We're not holding ourselves to a higher standard because Charmaine is so overwhelmed by the pain and the agony of her father passing, you know, being sick and, like, slowly dying, that she cannot focus on being a mother, being a wife, and a daughter to a father who was critically sick and a boss. But instead of admitting that, I guess for the cameras, she wants to portray that she has everything under control. And it's so sad. So basically, essentially what happens is Charmaine gets everyone together for a meeting. And she says, you know, how do you guys feel about the shop? I guess she got word that everybody was talking junk about her behind her back. Or at least Kitty and Dre were talking stuff about her behind her back. And so she was like, well, you're awfully quiet. She goes to Drea. And Drea lets her know the truth. She let her know what she needed to hear. She let her know that there are things broken in the shop. All of this stuff is going on in the shop. All of this is unprofessional. This is not how it's supposed to be. You begged me on your knees to come to the shop and that everything was going to be powerful and uplifting, and this is not what I am witnessing. Charmaine immediately got defensive. She immediately jumped in her bag of, I'm a boss. Yes, Charmaine, you're a boss, but are you a good one? Serious question. Because a good leader wouldn't mistreat their good employees. And yes, you are the boss, but when you have employees as good as Drea and Kitty to where they're helping you, like for example, Drea is a tattoo artist. Why is she doing paperwork for the convention? Why is she helping you pay for the booths at the convention? A full booth, 3 slots for tattoo artists, and she's one artist herself. And you are going to shit on an employee like that because your ego won't allow you to adjust to her needs until you get into a space where you can actually bring forth something positive to the situation that you offer to her based on lies. Because as of now, it's a lie. You told her your shit was in order. You told her that all of that bullshit that was going on in the shop before was of the past. And now she's seeing firsthand that that is not the case. And now, being that you know that she really is your lead artist in the shop, not Prince. I mean, I think Prince is a great artist, but we all know Drea is that girl. You should have accommodated her. Maybe you could have made her a manager, being that she is a tattoo artist, has the experience, the following, and the knowledge of the things that you need in the shop. But instead, you thought you were going to be the boss and the manager. Where does that work in any aspect of any business? You know? And so she blatantly projected, Charmaine projected onto Drea. You know, Charmaine definitely put on the I'm the boss, you're irrelevant, you don't matter hat. And she did poor leadership. It was poor leadership all across the board. It was poor leadership all across the board. It was the opposite of women's empowerment. It was the opposite of everything. Instead of being defensive because Drea wants to be paid a percentage base, when she's paying for her own supplies, she's paying for essentially everything. You're building, your brand doesn't even bring in customers because there are no walk-ins. All of her complaints were so valid. Yo, y'all don't even have walk-ins, which means your building that she's renting the space for is not bringing in customers for her to have to pay for a booth. She's paying for her own supplies. Instead of paying $1,500 a month to you to rent out a spot, she could literally pay $1,500 and get a chair and use the same supplies she's already using and do that shit at home somewhere. You know? And so it was definitely something questionable. Definitely questionable. In regards to that, I think that Charmaine is a little bit in over her head. I don't think that she's going to drown per se, but I think she's going to bump her head a whole bunch of times before she grasps the concept of who she's losing. Now, is Kitty a tattoo artist? No, Kitty is not a tattoo artist, but Kitty is definitely loyal to Charmaine. But Kitty is going to keep it real with Charmaine, and Charmaine cannot handle the truth right now because she is hypersensitive to the fact that her father is passing away. But that does not give you a pass to mistreat people who are loyal to you. I was absolutely disgusted with Charmaine's display. I was absolutely disgusted by the way Charmaine treated Kitty. After all the things Kitty did for you, Charmaine. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you say she wasn't there for you when your father is sick in the hospital, when she has told you numerous occasions, I'm here for you, and it's on camera? How dare you pretend like that girl was not there for you? And if you did feel like Kitty was not there for you as much as you would have liked, you could have expressed that to her. Now, Charmaine felt like if people were complaining in the shop, that Kitty should have came to Charmaine and said, these are people's complaints. Kitty is not your manager. And if you felt like she should have did that as a friend, then maybe when she was telling you her feelings, you should have took that into account so that she would have felt comfortable enough to bring more stuff to you. But instead, you brushed her off. You made it very apparent to her that although your shop doesn't have a manager, your shop doesn't have a receptionist, your shop needs all of these things, and she's trying to step up and play a part that can help outside of being a brand ambassador, which is her only job title. She literally doesn't have to do anything but create the brand and promote the brand and make advertisements and things like that. You want her to be the manager without the title. And this is what happens a lot of times in small businesses. People want you to do the extra work. Do the work of 3 different titles, but refuse to give you the titles. And that shit is redundant to me. That shit is ass backwards. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine having an employee who has the skills and the ability to do 3 different job titles. You don't have anyone to do those 3 different job titles. And she's only asking you for one set payment. She's not asking you for an increase. She is asking you for a title to fulfill her duties so that she can get the respect from the employees when she tells them what to do on your behalf to better your brand, your business, and your legacy. And instead of giving her the power to do that by giving her the title to do that, you diminish her role to one role and expect her to just continue off and do the other things. I don't think Charmaine really grasped the concept of that. And so she wants to be the boss, the manager, and she is falling short because she barely can be the boss. But that's not even the worst part, y'all. The convention. I've liked Charmaine for all of Black Ink Crew Chicago. But boy, were you unlikable on this episode with the convention. That was some tasteless, classless, disgusting stuff right there. And it was so unprofessional. It was so unprofessional, girl. What was that? Like, seriously, what was even that? You guys, during the convention, at this point, Charmaine done fired Kitty and Drea because the conversation that they had in the meeting had gotten, you know, obviously, it went out of whack. They started arguing, they started yelling, and she dismissed Drea, like, listen, either you're going to pay the $1,500 or you can go. And so Drea decided to leave because she's like, you know what, I don't need this shit. I'm a brand within myself. And then her and Kitty got into it because Kitty was like, you know, that's wrong. And then when her and Kitty got into it, she was like, well, you can go too, Kitty. And she said that her and Kitty weren't friends and all types of stuff. So at the convention, Drea brought Kitty along with her. And she had paid for a whole booth for Charmaine's convention. Like, I'm really trying to understand, when do employees start buying stuff for their bosses? Like when does that happen? You're the boss. You pay for your own booth. Why is she paying for her booth, and that includes seats for other employees of your business? It's crazy. But then you expect everything to flow smoothly in your business, when you are not giving these people who have stepped up the roles they deserve at all. At all. You're treating people how Ryan used to treat you. Now remember, Charmaine, you were never an artist. You were a receptionist. And no one ever respected you in Black and Nine Mag. And guess what? You were treating your employees the exact same way that you were being treated. And that's so disappointing, that you wouldn't have learned from your own experiences to know to treat your employees better. So, when Drea got to the convention, she said, you know what? I am not a part of Second City Inc. I am an entity of my own. I paid for my own booth. And so I will take my tickets and I will sit in my own booth. And so when she got there, they let her know that she didn't need just 2 more tickets. She needed 3 tickets. And so she asked for her 3 tickets. And then, next thing you know, Charmaine was butthurt because she hadn't planned for Drea to do her own thing after firing her. And this is how much of a terrible leader Charmaine is. Charmaine literally only allowed Drea to stay for the convention because Drea paid for a booth. Then tried to say, you know what, you can still be with us, Drea. We're not going to be petty. You can be a guest artist for my shop. Girl, don't nobody need to be a guest artist. I paid for my own booth. And I completely 100% understood why Dre was like, girl, nobody, that was never a part of the plan. This is my booth, my area, my section. I'm not doing that. I'm not even about to pretend with you, girl. You don't get to fire me and then still tell me what to do. I bought this booth. I did the paperwork on it. And so give me my tickets and you figure your own stuff out. You should have already had it planned. But you didn't because you're irresponsible. You are literally letting yourself down, Charmaine. You are literally letting yourself down. Everything that you worried about last season, people thinking about you, you're proving them right. Last year, your mother died, and we understand. Well, last season, your mother died, and we understand. That's a very, very, very terrible, hurtful situation. And yes, your father is very sick, and he is passing slowly, at the moment. That's why you need to get help. And if you don't know what you're doing, you need to say that. And no one is going to judge you. Especially not your friends. Especially not Kitty or Drea, who are there to help you.
Oh, well, I just want you to know you have a team, though. And we're here to help. So you don't feel like you're doing it by yourself. I know you've been saying you don't want to repeat past mistakes, but I do feel like you're taking on a lot. My main intention is to make sure that business is running smoothly.
Yeah,
like
I need that, from an artist, right?
help you. I really understand and sympathize with the fact that she has a lot on her plate right now. But that's even more reason for her to let her staff step in and help.
But you shutting out your loyal employees who are going above and beyond for you, it is betrayal to not only them, but to yourself. So at this convention, you know, Charmaine's very upset that Drea had her own booth. She had her own posters, her own flyers, her own everything. And she was an entity of her own. And she had Kitty there beside her. And she had her own artist come in to work too. And, you know, Ryan's fine ass. Ooh! Ooh! Oh my gosh. Ryan. Yo, that man right there. There is just something about Ryan that I just can't. He is just so fine. So basically, you know, Ryan comes over. He's there with Charmaine, you know, helping Charmaine, you know, keep her, you know, up and current because it's her first time doing a convention. And the only reason she did the convention is because Charmaine, it's because Kitty and Drea basically, like, begged her to do the damn convention so that they can get some type of exposure to build the brand so that the artist can start making money. But now, of course, now that she's doing it, she's taking full credit for it. And like, oh, I hate people like that. Oh my gosh, it's like triggering me. It's triggering me. Like I know there has to be so many people who have been a part of small businesses to where you come up with all these ideas, but the person who is in the front, like the owner, doesn't want to give you the credit for all that you bring. And they definitely don't want to give you a title. And like, they just like, it's just like, I totally understand what Kitty and Drea are going through. I totally understand, because Charmaine's just acting like, oh yeah, you know, the convention and da-da-da-da, but like, girl, you wasn't even trying to do the convention. But now that we got you doing the convention, you want to act like, oh yeah, you making boss moves. Those are moves. I don't like that. And so, sure enough, guess who come walking into the building, y'all? Y'all already know, but I'm going to say guess who? Caesar. First of all, I love Caesar. So I'm not even trying to be funny. I love Caesar because I think Caesar is a great guy. But like, he is just petty boots. He is just petty boots. Who called him and told him that Kitty and Charmaine were beefing? That's all I want to know. Did the directors do that? The directors did that. They definitely did. They said, you know what? Kitty and Charmaine are beefing right now, so let's get Caesar in. Let's get Caesar to come through. Or Charmaine called him. Or maybe Ryan. Maybe Ryan. I mean, I doubt Ryan did, because Ryan's a real man, and like, you know, he be just like, you know, doing his little manly stuff, you know. But basically, it was literally like Black Ink Crew all over again. Black Ink Crew New York all over again. Literally, like when Donna and Tati was just over there talking mad shit about Kitty when Kitty first went to Chicago. And next thing you know, boom, 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 they're all standing in a circle talking about Kitty. And Charmaine is literally being the most unloyal, fakest. First of all, she lied blatantly straight to all the guys talking about some Drea sabotaged her booth. She did not sabotage your booth, girl. You fired her. And so she paid for her booth before you fired her. And so she has every right to her booth. You thought you were going to be able to use her. And she said, no, you're not going to be able to use me. Now, you were incompetent enough to give her the bigger booth. That's your lack of comprehension, your lack of boss ability to give her the bigger booth. You could have easily had Charmaine. I mean, you could have easily had Kitty and Drea in the smaller booth. You chose to take the smaller one with the big ass wall unit coming out the middle of it. You played yourself, and you deserve to play yourself, because God don't like ugly. And so she blatantly lied to Ryan. She blatantly lied to Caesar. She blatantly lied to Nine Mag and played the victim because the truth was going to be too ugly for her to face. She didn't want to have to deal with the honest opinions of them, so she lied. She didn't want to hear the guy say, so why, when you fire her, didn't you do XYZ? Why didn't you talk to her about XYZ? Ryan encouraged her to talk to them. She said, they're right there. But they're right there, though. So why didn't you just talk? Because we know Ryan. We know when Ryan has an issue with somebody and they're right there, he's just going to go over there and talk to them. I love Ryan. I wrote that shit so many times down in my notes. I love Ryan. I love Ryan. I love Ryan. Because he's just that guy. Ryan is that guy. And so, Kitty overheard Charmaine talking about how Kitty doesn't do any work. And then, you know, C's chimed in on about, in New York was... Because Charmaine was like, was she working in New York? Like, she's just so fake. Like, I just can't even look at you the same, Charmaine. Like, the level of fake that you displayed on this episode is enough for me to taint my image of you for life. That was just the fakest shit in the whole world. Like, if you and Kitty were ever really friends... there would be absolutely no reason for you to be kikiing with her ex 2 inches away from her about her job that you know was sabotaged because of Caesar's insecurities with Ryan. You know that. And this is the type of stuff people who were never really your friend do once y'all fall out. Because the fallout was not even that big. Y'all could have definitely recovered. But after something like that, how could Kitty ever look at you the same? And don't blame it on your dad. Because your dad passing away is not an excuse for you to be an a-hole. Your dad being sick is not an excuse for you to be an a-hole to the only people really in your corner. Because let's be clear. You do have Ryan. Ryan does care about you. But the people who are really in your corner were Kitty and Drea. You over there kikiing with Don after Don spread that rumor and tried to ruin your family about Kitty. Are you serious? That's crazy. And so, you know, Kitty had enough. She became Big DC. Big DC! Big DC! You know, it's Big DC in the building. And so she started getting all gangster, you know, start twitching and shit like, hey, yo, you gonna play with me? These motherfuckers playing with me? I go over there and smack all of these motherfuckers. Is you serious? This is Big DC. Big DC up in this motherfucker. Is you crazy? Nah, fuck all that. Like, I'm like, is this DC or New York? Is this DC or New York? Like, what happened? Like, what happened? Which one is it? Cause it can't be both, Kitty. You can't have both. You gotta choose one. But yeah, so you know, as we could see, Kitty getting on. I don't know if she ended up getting kicked out the convention, but I know the director came over and was trying to calm her down. She was like, nah, son. They been talking shit this whole time. Like, I'm gonna just smack the shit out of everybody. And so the director's like, chill, Kitty, chill. And then they didn't even know I like that. And she like, nah. And I'm like, damn, Kitty. Keep it cute. Gotta keep it cute. And so, you know, we watch her walking off like, fuck Ryan and fuck Charmaine. Ryan like, what I do? Yo, Ryan cannot catch a break. Every convention is always somebody saying fuck Ryan. Oh my gosh, Ryan. Oh my gosh. Like, literally, he was the only one not talking shit. He was the only one not talking shit. And this is what happens when Ryan gets involved with anything. Like, just run, Ryan. Run. But that's what happened on this episode. I mean, on these 2 episodes, more stuff happened. Like, you know, like I said, Ford gave birth to his baby and things like that. But honestly, the only thing that really stood out was this convention situation, the situation between Charmaine, Andrea, and Kitty, and Caesar coming to the convention and all of this stuff. This was the highlight. So this is really all I want to talk about because it's the only thing that gets me excited. And I'm so excited to see next time because my husband in my mind, Ryan, he is going to have a sit down with everybody and hash things out. And so I'm so excited to see the next episode. But look, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will catch you guys on the next video. I love you guys.